Hello guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ademola Badmus. If this is your first time, please do not forget to like and subscribe and also share amongst your friends, especially when you find this video very helpful. So like I promised, we are going to dive right into automating our first session. So we are not going to name this we're not going to name this start session anymore. We're going to name this admin login because we want to log in as an admin on this. So we named this like this. So let me undo this and do a refactor instead of renaming it differently. I can just do a refactor and call it admin login, so it changes at once. So everywhere it is referenced, it will change. That's one of the things that you can do on an IntelliJ IDE. So let's get right into it. The site, we already have it, and I said I will be using CSS Selector. So I have shown you how a CSS Selector works. So we need a username, a password, and in the button position we also have an ID, the login button. So we are going to use that. So let's just get right into it. So in order to do that, the first thing we need to do is we need to find find element. We are looking for just one element, so we would use find element. If you're looking for an element that a list of elements, you use find elements, because that one will return it will return a list of elements with that particular identifier. So we just need that one single element, so we use find elements alone, not with elements, not with an S. So we want to use a CSS selector, right? So, and what we are looking for is basically the username. And in the username, what we want to do is we want to type into it. In order to type, you use the keyword called send keys. So inside it, we want to put admin. All right. So this way we can test it right now and see if it works. That's the way I actually work when I'm trying to script. I make one or two steps, then I test if I'm on the right track, as opposed to writing everything at once and testing later and probably be looking for bugs. So I will run this right now, and as expected, it will build because it's a compiling language and I've added things to it. So it will build, and once it's done building, it runs. So let's wait for it. It is going to launch this, and we see what happens. Okay, it's loading up. Yep, and that's successful. It has typed admin for us, so we'll do the same for the password. So let me just copy this and let me paste. So instead of username here, we will have password, and instead of admin, we will have sandbox. Okay, so with this, let's run again and check it. As expected, it will build again because we've added new things. We've made some adjustments to our code, so it will build again. Let's wait for it and see. Yep, it's about to run. And launches. Okay. Here, and there you go. We have our username and we have our password already done. Now, the last part is to press the login button. I'm going to paste that again since we are using a CSS selector, and we already know that the login button is this btn, right? But we are not typing this time. What we are doing is we want to click it, right? So for that, we use the click command, and this will do the magic for us. All right. So again, let's run it. Let's see that we are on the right track. Let's check it if it's building. Yep, it is building. And any minute now, the Chrome WebDriver would start and will be launched. And there you go, and it has clicked it, and we are logged in. So what's left is we should verify this. I will do this verification, but first let us import something that would help us with the verification. The Java construct itself comes with an annotator itself. It comes with a JUnit, but for this we would use test-ng. It works like a JUnit, and it has a better it has some features that are better in it. You can read more about test-ng and why people prefer it, because it is not in the scope of what we are trying to do, but we are going to be using test-ng instead of JUnit. We can actually use JUnit here. There is no problem with that, but let's use test-ng. So in order to use test-ng, we come back to our XML file and we add a new dependency. To get this dependency, we go to our Maven repository and we look for test-ng. Yep. And research. Yep. And here we are. We have test-ng. And we look at it. There are several ones. This one has the most usage, so I will go back to this. It doesn't mean if you pick the latest version it won't work. It's like a culture of mine, so it's an habit of mine rather. So I just do that. So I'm going to paste this here, and as you can see, it is syncing. Yep. So we are going to load the Maven changes. Yeah. Let me just reload that and ensure that the test-ng dependency has been added. As you can see, it is resolving the dependencies for the project, and we look at that and have that done. Yeah, it is resolving everything. Okay, so we are good. So now, in order to assert, what we need to do in order to assert is basically, let me log in on the manual side. Remember, I did mention in the last video that it is important to be able to test it manually before you try to automate it, so you can understand the behavior. Now, what we want to check is basically this. So it means we need to get this and verify that the text that we can see is welcome back admin. All right. But the thing is this is a web page. It means we will need to get that element and extract the text from it. Right? We need to extract that text and verify that it matches this. Okay? So how do we do that? we first get the text. I click this. If I click this inspector selector and I come here and I click on the text, it would direct me to the actual text that I want to get. I mean, it will direct me to the actual element that I'm looking for. So I can see some red flags in the identification already. The class name is not properly formed, and the ID has lots of numbers. So it might be that it is serialized. So it might mean that if I load it maybe 2 days time from now, the number might have changed. So how then do I identify this type of how do I identify this type of elements? So I can come here and first type its tag name. The tag name is an H2. So if I put an H2, there are 2 matches. So it means I cannot use that. But what else can I use? So since I can't get that particular value, all I can do right now is copy everything here. Pardon me. Let me just select everything there. Yep. And I copy that. If I come here now, here we go again. Okay, and I open my square bracket because I'm taking it as a whole, and I have this. You see, I have just one match right now, so I can use this, right? So I have to extract the text in this, right? Let me first write this down somewhere. Let's just say I have driver dot find element by a CSS selector, and this is the CSS selector here. Yeah, when you have something like this, that the inner quote and the outer quote are the same, it's either you use an escape sequence, the backslash, to make it work, or you change whatever the inner quote is into the opposite of the other one, which means the inner quote can become a single quote, and that will be fine. All right, so we have this, but we need the text inside. We do not need this driver because that's what we need. So let's assign the text inside into a variable. Let's say string welcome text equals this, right? But in order to make it like that, we have to just get the text. So that's just it. So we have gotten this text. So now what we want to do is we want to verify that this text is the same as this, is the same as what is here. So I will just come here and copy that. Let's copy this and come into the code and just say this. So in order to check it, we'll use the word called assert, right? Assert is a command used in Java and TestNG to check if, as you can see, it's trying to resolve it for us. But what class are you trying to resolve import for us? We do not want to use, okay, yes, this is the one we want to use. We want to add this library. Yep. And when we add that, let's import the class and see. Nope, that is not the import that we need. So we are going to remove that. We want that of the Maven, we want that of test-ng. So we are going to import the test-ng assert, which we have imported successfully. So we can say assert equals, right? We want to assert that this particular welcome text yep, is equal to this. Okay, let me arrange this properly. I just copied everything there. Not done yet. Let us do this. So this is what we want to assert. So let's run this and see if it will work. If it doesn't work, then we debug it together. But I do not expect it to work because it would have because there are some special characters in it, so it might not work essentially, but let's see. Okay, it's done running. Let's see our code. Oh, there's an error. It expects to find this, but it found something else. So we can copy this and let's paste it here and test again. Let's see. Let's run it. Like I said, my prediction was right because it contains some special character. It didn't work. So let's see if it will work this time. Okay, loading up. We already know the login will work anyways, so we just need to see this. Oh yes, it worked for us this time with the special character. So that's an introduction to how you can verify the presence of an element text on a page. There are other ways, there are other things you can assert for. Let's say we have here, we can say assert dot. You see so many things that you can use after the assertion. All right. So if you have other things that you want to assert, you can use this to check that. But we are using the test-ng library in it. So in the next video, we are going to um, we are going to do the other 4 types of login, and in the video after that we will now begin to refactor all the types of login that we've done. We begin to refactor it such that we have cleaner code. Then eventually we would introduce us to test-ng, using test-ng to organize and run our codes. So thank you for getting this far. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.